we can get right onto it. My pick this week has to be JT Poston. I mean, he's won this tournament here before. I mean, I looked everywhere to say, hey, is JT too tired to play this week? He's been in Scotland. He was at the Open. He was at 3M. He was at Hartford, where he finished sixth at the Scottish, played decent at the British, second last week, won this tournament without a bogey a few years ago, driving the ball really well. I watched, he's on TV when you listen to the commentators talk about JT, talk about how good he putts. And we've been saying this for years. And he kind of plays good almost every year at this time of the year, Diane. I talk about biorhythms to you all the time. He's won this tournament. He won John Deere a couple of weeks ago, 2 years ago. There's just nobody playing any better golf than him. And this field, quite honestly, is quite weak. And there's nobody has more momentum than JT, knows his course really well. So I'm just going to keep riding Poston.
That's, looking, as you say, how he's been playing, 3 top 6 finishes in his last 4 starts. And even looking back, you talk about him in these biorhythms and times of year where he plays well. His whole season has been, kind of in waves. He'll go through a period of, miscuts or not great finishes. And then all of a sudden he'll have like 3 or 4 events bunched together where he'll play really well. And right now, this is definitely a wave that we have to ride for JT. So I'm not surprised that you're picking him. I'm also baffled at the fact he's 30-1 this week. Not only that, I had a look around and found him at 40-1, and I cannot believe it.
He's the best player in the field form-wise by a mile. It's never a putting with JT. It's never putting. He's always got that part of the game down. When you think about his other JT, Justin Thomas, it's all about putting. So it's never about putting with Thomas. This week's going to be a low-scoring affair. It's almost always with JT Poston about driving. And his driving's gotten considerably better. And I must say, his putting over the last 6 weeks is just leaps and bounds where he is in strokes gained. So he's just on fire with the putter. This week's going to be low scoring, as we talked about. It's going to be hitting the second shot on the green, Diane, and making putts. And all my players this week are guys that have momentum, guys that are close to getting into that top 70 that you talked about, and have some recent form. That's what I'm looking at this week.